This is the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. The Oppo Find X8 Ultra is the newest flagship from Oppo, and this is supposedly one of the best camera phones out there on the market. But today, let's talk about how good it actually is. Is it actually a good camera smartphone? But before we go into what these cameras have to offer, really quickly let's go over what this phone has to offer. So this works on the Snapdragon 8 Elite, meaning you can play all the modern games at the highest quality settings. Also paired that with Android 15 and ColorOS 15. Making it a very good phone for everyday usage and overall a really good, smooth operating phone. Not only that, it has a beautiful AMOLED display that is an LTPO and can go up to 120 Hz. It is a very beautiful and a very sharp display. Not only that, it has an in-display fingerprint sensor which is quick and reliable. It also has a nice 6100 mAh battery, which is pretty good for a phone in 2025. Not only that, you can charge it really quickly with its 100-watt wired charging and 50-watt wireless charging, making this a great flagship device in 2025. Not only that, it has an extra function key, and on the other side where it has the volume buttons, there is actually a kind of like a touch bar that you can use for photos and videos and other operations. So it's an extra key feature of the smartphone. But more about that later in the video. If you're enjoying the music in this video or in any other of my work, check out the link down below for the copyright-free music, your creations and your videos. And now let's go to the main topic of today's video, the cameras on the back. So the Oppo Find X8 Ultra has a quad camera setup on the back, and as you can see, it is a Hasselblad collaboration. Thanks to this and the true tones that it has a really nice color science. But how good are the four cameras? What do they offer? It is a quad 50 megapixel camera setup with the main ultra-wide telephoto and the periscope telephoto lens all being a 50 megapixel camera sensor, which is nice, making it very consistent across the board, especially if you want to crop the photos in post-production. We also have an ultra-wide angle lens, which is a 0.6 times zoom compared to the main camera sensor. Then we have this 70mm equivalent telephoto lens, and also we have a 135mm equivalent periscope telephoto lens. Like I said, all of them are a 50 megapixel sensor, making them really consistent across the board. One thing that I really love about the Oppo's telephoto, which is the 70mm equivalent, so the ×3 zoom, is that it actually is capable of macro shots, making the macro shots just look much better. It is the best way to do on a smartphone when the 3x zoom of the camera setup can do macro photography. It just looks the best, it just makes the photos look that much better because it just looks like a proper professional macro photography. So in my opinion, this is amazing for that. And this phone can shoot in JPEG and RAW. So if you want to edit those photos in post-production and take full advantage of what the camera sensors can offer, this is a great feature to have on the smartphone. And the Oppo Find X8 Ultra has it at your disposal. So you can shoot in JPEG and have the photos ready, or in RAW and edit them in post-production both on your phone or on your computer. If you're interested in photo color presets for your photos, check out the link down below for my presets. Overall, I would say it's a nice camera setup for photos. In my opinion, there is nothing wrong per se. I really felt like there was nothing that was screaming that maybe the wide angle isn't too good or the telephoto isn't too good. There's some inaccuracies, there's some problems with colors. I feel like everything felt really good, and there wasn't anything that wasn't too good about it. So I would say that there was nothing bad about this camera setup, but I also wouldn't say it is the best out there on the market. Nonetheless, I would say it's very consistent and has really good capabilities in photo department. And with the extra button on top, you can actually use it as a shutter button for photos. Also, you can use it as a zoom for your photos. So it's really cool that you had that extra flexibility. I just wish the button was a little bit closer to the edge, so it's somewhere like right here, but it's actually a little bit farther inside the phone. So it's more right here instead of more on the edge. So you have to a little bit go farther forward, but it's cool that it's there. And like I said, if you pick this phone for the camera performance, I feel like you're gonna be happy with what it has to offer. It is a really strong camera setup for photos. And the hypertone that they advertise is really, really good. Overall, the color science feels really nice on the phone. But what about the video side of this phone? Well, you can shoot in 4K 120 frames per second on the main and the telephoto lenses, but you cannot switch between them while recording. But you can record in 4K 60 frames per second across all the lenses and switch between them while recording. This is a nice feature that I love on the smartphones, and it's nice to see that it's also on the Oppo. It is a really cool feature when shooting videos and you just want to show something from an ultra wide angle lens or a normal traditional wide angle lens to a very zoomed in shot of something in the distance. So it's really cool you have that on the smartphone. But there is slightly visible change of the lens. So you can definitely feel when it changes from one lens to another, you can kind of feel the shift where the cameras are. So you kind of can feel it. It is slightly, like I said, slightly visible. And if you think about it, you see it. But if you're just using it as a daily driver, you will probably not think about it too much. But you can definitely see it if you focus on that. It's just not as seamless as on some competitors. But also you can shoot in 4K 60 frames per second and log on all of the camera sensors on the smartphone, which is pretty nice. Thanks to this, you can really take advantage of what these camera sensors can offer and edit that in post-production and get just the most out of the camera and also just most dynamic range that you can get from a smartphone. It is nice that you can shoot on all lenses, so it's not limited to one, and the log format itself is pretty nice. Like I said, it's once again feeling the same as with the photos. It is a phone that does everything right. There doesn't feel that there's anything wrong with how this does photo and video. Personally, I just feel like it's not as exciting as maybe some other phones that I've tested throughout the year. But I have to say that for many, this is gonna be a great phone. I can definitely recommend it if you want to have a great photo and video oriented smartphone. Like I said, as a daily driver, as a whole package, this is a great smartphone with a really good camera performance. So the whole camera setup, the whole camera experience, once again, feels very consistent, very good, with just minor inconveniences here or there. But other than that, it really takes off so many boxes, like almost everything that you think that you would like to have on the smartphone, it has it on it. Making this a really nice competitor in 2025. Definitely one of the better phones you can get on the market right now. But personally, I just felt like I was missing that little special something that I would love that this phone had, that it was just a little bit not playing safe. Like, add in something that is just a little bit different than the competition in 2025. And same thing with the design. I feel like it is a pretty, self-explanatory design, straight white. I wish you could see the Oppo sign a little bit better, or just have some kind of a, something different. Maybe it isn't the best one for me, but overall, if you like a flat back, flat design, and just, flat colors, this is definitely the one for you. I got this phone from Trading Shenzhen, where you can find one for yourself, and this video was made possible by them. So a very big thank you to Trading Shenzhen for making this video possible. If you're looking to find the Oppo Find X8 Ultra, check out the link down below for Trading Shenzhen. Overall, it is a pretty solid flagship device for 2025, with a really solid camera on the back. I feel like it plays a little bit safe, but if you want consistency and you want to have something that works pretty great, and if you want to be a little bit different than others, then the Oppo Find X8 Ultra is a great pick. If you have any more questions about the Oppo Find X8 Ultra, let me know in the comment section down below. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I'll see you next time.